Take a look at this woman. She's taking the CELPIP exam, and on the speaking part of the exam, she has to answer a question about a difficult situation. And she has 1 minute to read the question and think about it, and another minute to speak. Okay? Now, she doesn't know what to say. Do you know what to say? Well, in this lesson, I'm going to teach you what to say for this question. Now, I'm making a lot of videos on CELPIP, so make sure you hit that subscribe button right down there. Okay, so here's the question. A close cousin who lives in another country is coming to visit for a year. She tells you that she would like to stay at your place to explore your country's culture and to spend some time with you. Your roommate does not agree and says you will have to move out if she comes. Okay, so here's a difficult situation. Now, you have to choose one. Either talk to your cousin, explain why she cannot move in for a year, or talk to your roommate, explain why your cousin should be allowed to move in with you for a year. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is decide who you're going to talk to. Which would be easier? Personally, I think it would be a little bit easier to talk to your cousin, or my cousin in this case. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to take some notes. Okay, now it might take you like 60 seconds to read the question. Look how long this question is. Can you read all of this and all of this in 1 minute? I hope so. You need to be able to read all of it, but that's a long time and you only have a minute, so you might not have too much time to take notes. But if you have 10 or 20 seconds to take some notes, then just take some really short notes. Try to think of why she can't stay with you in your apartment. Okay, our apartment is too small, so you just write too small. My roommate has a girlfriend and that would be a little bit awkward. So you just write girlfriend. My roommate has a crazy work schedule where sometimes he works days, sometimes he works nights, and so it would be very challenging if you were to stay with us. Okay, so you just write schedule. Okay, that way, when you're speaking, you can look at your notes and remember what you want to say. Okay, so remember, when you're answering this question, you're talking to a person. Okay? So in this case, you're going to say something like this. Hi Cindy, it's Mark calling here. Okay? That's how you're going to start. You're going to pretend like you're talking to your cousin on the phone. Okay, then you're going to introduce the topic. You're going to make a decision or tell her about your decision. Okay? And then you're going to explain the reasons. Okay? So follow this structure when you answer the question. Now, here's how you introduce the topic. You're going to say, hi Cindy, it's Mark calling here. I talked to my roommate today and he doesn't really like the idea of someone living with us. So then this is your decision. So unfortunately, you won't be able to stay here. Okay, this is a very good word to use in this question. When you have to make a tough decision, when you have to tell someone, no, I can't do this, or you can't do this, then you should say, unfortunately. Okay, unfortunately, it won't work, or unfortunately, you won't be able to stay here. Okay, so that's the decision. This is how you introduce the topic. It's one sentence, but you start like this. You don't just call your cousin and say, hi Cindy, you can't stay with us, bye. Okay, that would be pretty rude. Okay, so this is the best way to do it in English. Okay, so then you're going to explain the reasons why she can't stay with you in your apartment. Okay, so the apartment is really small. We only have one bathroom, so it would be a little bit awkward. Just whatever you want to say about that. And then my roommate has a girlfriend. She likes to come over and watch movies. And so if you were living with us in our living room, that would make their relationship a little bit, that would be strange for their relationship. Okay. And my roommate's work schedule is really strange. He likes to have peace and quiet at home. So he doesn't want to come home and suddenly there's you in the living room. Okay, so you're going to try to be very polite, very nice when you're speaking, but you're going to talk about your reasons. Okay, so this is going to be most of what you talk about, right? Like at the beginning, this is only one sentence, so it's going to take you maybe 5 or 10 seconds to say this, and then you're going to spend most of the time in the question answering these things here, talking about the reasons. Okay, so I want to give you an example of how I would answer this question. Okay, are you ready? If you want to try first, then click on the pause button right down there, and then after you finish trying, then you can click on the play button and hear my answer. Okay, but here is my answer right here. Okay, we've started. Hi Cindy, it's Mark calling here. I was talking with my roommate earlier today about you coming to visit, and he actually doesn't like the idea of someone coming to live with us for a while. So unfortunately, you can't stay here with us. Our apartment is actually really small. We only have one bathroom, so that would be a bit awkward with all of us sharing the same bathroom. Also, he has a girlfriend and she likes to come over and watch movies, and they like to cook together, so it would be a little bit awkward for their relationship if you were to stay with us. Also, his work schedule is a bit strange. Sometimes he works days, sometimes he works nights, and so he just likes to have a really quiet, peaceful place to live. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you when you come visit. I hope you can find a great place to stay when you come. Take care, bye. Okay, a minute, exactly a minute. So I said I talked a lot, okay? Try to talk from the beginning to the end. I mean, it's going to cut you off. After a minute is up, it's going to cut you off. So maybe it's good to try to stop talking 3 or 4 seconds before you get cut off. But don't stop talking like half a minute early. Okay, that would be bad. You need to use most of your time. Okay, so that's how I would answer this question. Let's take a look at another difficult situation. Okay, here's the situation. You promised your nephew that you would be at his birthday party next weekend, but your boss has asked you to go on a business trip that weekend. You need to call one of them and tell them that you can't make it. Okay, so here's another difficult situation. You promised your nephew that you would go to his birthday party next weekend, but then your boss asked you to go on a business trip that weekend. So you need to decide, who are you going to talk to? Are you going to talk to your boss and tell him you can't go on the business trip? Or are you going to talk to your nephew and say that you can't go to his birthday party? Well, I think it would be much easier to talk to the nephew, right? That would probably be easier. It'd be hard to talk to your boss and say, hey, I can't go on the business trip because my nephew's birthday party is that weekend. Your boss would say, what? I'm gonna fire you. Well, if he was nice, he would understand, but you don't want to risk your job, right? Okay, so again, you're going to introduce the topic. You're going to tell your nephew about the decision you made, and then you're going to talk about the reasons. Okay, so let's just take a few notes. What are our reasons going to be? Well, my job is really important. I need money right now because I just bought a house. So I need to make the payments on my house. Then you could say, hey, can we party together next week? I have some holidays coming up next week, so I would love to spend 3 or 4 days with you. We can play games and stuff, whatever you want to say here. Now, this isn't really a reason why you can't go to his birthday party, but it's just something nice to say to encourage him, or to show him that you care about him and that you love him. Okay? And then you could say something like this: I bought you a cool present. I think you're going to love it. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to give you your present. Okay, so there are our reasons. So then it's going to say, start speaking now. And then you need to start speaking. Okay, so I'm going to give this one a try. Again, if you want to try this before I do, then click on the pause button down there. Otherwise, I'm going to start right now. Now remember, when you're talking to him, you're talking to your nephew. So you're going to say something like, "Hi, Peter, it's Uncle Mark calling." Or if you're a woman, you could say, "Hi, Peter, it's Auntie Linda calling." You can say auntie or auntie. We pronounce, I think it's more common. I don't know which is more common. You can decide. Auntie, auntie. There's 2 ways to pronounce that word, okay? If it's a really small kid, then you might say auntie or auntie. But if it's like an older kid, like a teenager, you might just say aunt. Aunt Jillian or Aunt Linda or aunt, however you want to say it. Usually we put the E at the end of a word if it's a small kid. Like a small kid will call his parents mummy and daddy, but when the kid grows up, they just say mum and dad. Okay, so I'm going to start this by saying, "Hi Peter, it's Uncle Mark calling." Okay, ready? Here we go. "Hi Peter, it's Uncle Mark calling. I know I promised to be at your birthday party next weekend, but unfortunately my boss has asked me to go on a business trip that weekend, so I won't be able to make it to your party. I'm really sorry about that. My job is really important right now, and I can't risk losing my job because I just bought a house and I have to pay the mortgage payments on my house. So I really need to keep my job. Can we party together next week? I have some holidays coming up and I want to come visit you for a few days. We can play some games, bake a cake, and have a great time together. And I bought you a really cool present. I know you're going to love it so much. So I can't wait to give it to you. Okay, I'm really sorry again, and I can't wait to see you soon. All right, love you. Bye. Okay, 59 seconds. That was perfect. Okay, a minute. All right, I had 1 more second to talk. Okay, so that's an example of how I would answer this question. Those are my tips for this question, but let's do some homework. Okay, I want you to answer this difficult situation down there in the comments. Okay, so you are going to the hospital to see your grandma. Your grandma is sick, or she got rushed to the hospital. So you're going to see her. A cop pulls you over for speeding. How do you explain your situation? Okay, a cop is a police officer. And speeding means driving too fast. So you were driving to the hospital really fast. A cop, okay, puts on his sirens and pulls you over for speeding. So you need to explain your situation. What do you tell the cop? Let me know down there in the comments, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.